Wow. Who would be a Spurs fan? Who would be a bloody Spurs fan? I've just watched the Antonio Conte press conference from last night. I was too busy watching Queen's Park Rangers win with 10 men in the last minute last night. So I didn't see. That's why my voice is a bit funny. Because the boys got a victory, thank God. Sorry, Spurs fans. But why... Spurs, it's getting into Everton territory now. Where I always go, wow, it's got to be tough being an Everton fan. It's getting to that point with Spurs. Because... they get close with Pochettino, it's exciting, it's young, it's fresh. They get to a Champions League final. It then starts to fall apart and unravel a little bit. Should they have stuck with him? I thought they should have. I think that's been proven right now. Because there are waves. In football, there are waves and periods where it's not totally going your way. But if that person has got the values and the intelligence to find the answers, you should stick with that person. That didn't happen. We move on, right? Who is it next? Jose Mourinho. So, look, in terms of going out and getting yourselves a winner, let's remember what everyone was saying. With Jose Mourinho, it was like, look, we're selling our soul here, but we're selling our soul for hopefully the right reason. He'll get the trophy. People can stop talking about Spursiness and all that stuff. I'm not even sure if Spursiness is a word. And we can just get on with the rest of our lives having won a bloody trophy because Jose Mourinho is a winner. That turned more and more sour. And... with Jose Mourinho, there were moments where he threw the team under the bus, but probably not to the same level as Antonio Conte has done here. I'm annoyed, so I can't even imagine what Spurs fans are feeling. Before we get into this video, I obviously have a problem with Antonio Conte and what he's done, which is what we're going to dive into in this video. If you're new to the channel, we've hit 160,000 subscribers, which is amazing. I have a dream of getting to 200k by May. It's a big ask, but I'm going to need your help, guys. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you've ever watched the videos, I believe this is one of the best channels out there, personally, when it comes to football. So, well, I would say that. But if you agree, please just hit the button for me. Right, let's talk about this, because... so I have this board here, and I sometimes sort of write things to sort of go to as I'm making videos. And often with the My Problem videos, it's just me kind of getting stuff off my chest. So buzzwords are enough. And there are 4 options here, and we're going to go through some of the comments. We've got them all here. There are 4 options here. For those of you who've missed it, Antonio Conte, after the defeat to Burnley, has come out with statements, not once, but in the several different media obligations that he has to undertake, with the same message. The same message of saying, I can't close my eyes. We'll go into all of those things. But what I will say is that when I wrote down what it could be in terms of how you want to judge those comments, I have 4 options. He's either being fragile, gutless, he's sulking, he's being volatile, or he's being arrogant. Take your pick. And which one of those would you want? None of them, which I think explains how I feel about this. And I'm going to talk it through, and I'm going to try and figure out which one of those 5 it is. Is he fragile? Is he gutless? Is he just sulking? Is he a volatile character? Or is he arrogant? Which one of those? I'd love to know what you think as well. But let's go through these comments first. And what I did do as well, because I think you've got to be careful with this. I went through the videos and saw the clips of, with him saying it and trying to understand his tone. And it's ridiculous. I can't believe he's behaving this way. It's so short-sighted. It's so petty and petulant. I can't believe it. Honestly, can't believe he's come out and said this, especially after the nonsense that he spouted that we supposedly have spun in a different wrong direction. Maybe there's an element of that because I think it's easy to do, and that's why I wanted to be careful and see it, because I'm more than happy to, and I'm happy to give the angle of actually we're being a bit unfair on him. And normally I am like that, but not with this. Not with this. What is he doing? Anyway, so disappointed, to head straight to dressing room on his own. He then came out. I came here to help the club, and if the problem could be the coach, I'm ready to go. No problem. I am not used to this situation. I mean, that's revealing, I think. He's like, oh, I'm a winner. I always win. Well, you came into a squad that you knew wasn't good enough. What are you doing? Shut up. I'm trying everything, but the situation is not changing. I don't doubt that. He speaks about he's working. He says it here. I work 20 hours of the day. I'm giving 20 hours of the day to Tottenham, and the other 4 hours or 4 hours I sleep, but it is not enough. I want to help the club. I work a lot. I work very hard. I don't doubt that for a second. But the one before that, I'm available and open with the club to do what the club wants. He's sort of putting it out there that, like, feel free to sack me, which I think is probably a bit of a jump, and he is probably just being emotional because he doesn't like losing games. And I think the big thing here is he doesn't like being judged, and he's not used to being judged and him looking weak. I think that is the trigger point here, and I think that's where the pettiness, the sulking is coming from, because he's actually a lot more fragile and volatile than people think, I think. And I've always got that undertone from him, and I think clubs have got that from him. But the sort of passion has somehow been enough with, like, this again, just go, the thing about Conte is he always has high budgets. Well, that doesn't mean he's a good manager. That means he's been lucky enough to have these large budgets to go and buy all these players to a point, win leagues, or at the very least have a squad that is competitive in terms of the names that you've got. So, as much as everyone thinks he's a wonderful manager, and he is a great manager, there's no doubt about that, he's been in some situations that have been very, very useful in terms of having the opportunity to win trophies. Juventus, the biggest club in Italy. Inter Milan had new owners and spent a load of money, and he just left once the money went. Chelsea, okay, maybe he didn't spend outrageous amounts, but this is Chelsea. They had an amazing squad. And he came into a squad that had actually won a title a couple of years prior to that. And then Mourinho, obviously it fell off a cliff. And that happens. It's football. It's a low-scoring game. That's why we love it. But grow up. The performance can be good and the commitment was good, but we lost. For me, the situation is unacceptable. And actually, if you watch the press conferences, they ask him, the first question is about sort of tactical elements of the game. And he goes, I don't want to talk about tactical elements of the game. I want to talk about the fact that we've lost 4 out of 5 now, which he says here as well. For me, the situation is unacceptable. To lose 4 of 5 games for Tottenham has to be a disaster. And so, yeah, he doesn't want to talk about the game and make it just about that one moment and let's move on. He wants to make it bigger. He's trying to sort of explode. I don't get it. Why make things bigger when there's so much? Why am I doing this video? This shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't be speaking in a way that brings this kind of heat. It is, especially when you've got a mediocre squad. You have to energize them and give them belief. That's just basic. I don't know why I'm so angry. I came in to try and improve the situation. Maybe in this moment, I'm not so good to improve the situation. I am honest. I'm too honest to close my eyes and continue in this way. If you're so honest and you've got your eyes open, you wouldn't take in the job. Oh, we're not as good as we thought it was. I thought I could wave a magic wand and it would all be okay. And it is the most obvious things, right? He has a great stock, right? This is a huge club. And they will have money to spend, right? At the end of this season, what happens? There's a summer and then there's a new season. Take a breath, Tony. Don't throw your toys out the pram, and don't. It is gutless. Like, I'm seeing all these words in front of me. It is gutless. You're just giving up because it's not working out for you right now. You have the facilities there and the money available to put together a really, really good squad. Like, can you get to Man City's level or Liverpool's level? I mean, if you're this good of a manager, you have to take your time and build something. He's a child. He's acting like a child. Crazy. Honestly, it's crazy to me. For sure, we are to speak, to have a conversation and with the club and try and find the best solution to help the team not have this type of situation. It is the right moment to make an assessment. I repeat, I'm really frustrated. Okay, well, yeah, we know that you're really frustrated. It's not the right moment to make an assessment. The end of the season is the right moment to make an assessment. Get on with it. Get on with it to the end of the year. You know, make them feel bigger than they are. Make them feel 10 feet tall. I just can't believe it. It's just crap. It's absolute stupid management for someone who should know better. He's saying at the moment we could finish 10th, 12th, 13th. We could finish in the same position as when I arrived here. So what? It's not about this year for Tottenham. It's not about this year for Tottenham fans. And that, like, days ago, you're saying it's the best squad you've ever coached. You are the manager of a high-profile team. This isn't your first rodeo either. You know that people are going to look and analyse the words that come out of your mouth after games, even more so after defeats. So think about what you're saying. Make your life easier. Get to the end of the season. Your stock is high. And again, especially with a squad that was low in confidence when he came in, one of your powerful things that you have is you could go to a player and go, you're great. I'm with you. We're together. Togetherness will get you a long way. Look at Burnley. Look at the run that Burnley have been on. And now, through sticking together, through sticking with their manager, it's about the sum of the parts. So you throwing the squad under the bus when you know they're not good enough. Like, I think everyone was aware of that there's a long way to go and you've got a couple of star players. And also, it's naive to just say that you beat Man City and everything's fine. Because when you play Man City, you defend for your lives, and you're, as a counter-attacking team with your two best players being Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, you have all this space to go and attack. So there is that possibility that you could beat them. Because, you know, football's about space versus possession a lot of the time. You know, will you give up some of the space because you'll have the players back to retain the ball? That's what Man City do. Spurs, over the last few years, have played the other way. So games against Burnley, that's when there's a bit of a struggle. When you are being given the ball. These games against the lesser teams, it's harder because you have the ball, you have the control. It's easier to stop than to break someone down. So you have to give them confidence and belief and bravery to be on the ball and create things. And systems of play. Klopp, Guardiola, energize their players. Make them play at a higher level. Make them want to defend. Make them want to be brave and make those risky passes to create. You don't throw them under the bus like this. It's shocking. And I guess, look, what are we at then? So what we got here? Fragile, gutless, sulking, volatile, arrogant. He's all of them. He's behaving like all of them. Because he's like, oh, well, maybe I'm not good enough. And he's sulking. He's too arrogant to think that things take time. And for him to be saying this with all these games still to go, and he's quitting. He's quitting. That is gutless. All right, get on with it. Right. That's all I have to say about it. Honestly, I can't begin to think of the frustration that Spurs fans have when you're bringing in the best, and he's behaving so erratically. It's just stupid. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you like the content, then hit the like button as well. I'll see you in the next one.